Vicky, you can hear us okay, right, Vicky?
Yes, I can hear you just fine. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. We are here today with Mary Cheatham King and Meg Millsap, and they are here to teach their awesome class, Video for Dummies, Us Not You. So we are really excited to have you all here, and I am going to turn it immediately over to Mary Cheatham and Meg. And if everyone can just make sure that you are on Zoom, I'm sorry, not on Zoom, on mute, I would appreciate that. And with that, Meg and Mary Cheatham, take it away.
Oh, hey. No, hey everybody. Hey y'all. I guess the first thing we want to say is that we're joining you guys from the coast of North Carolina. And of course, we were lucky that we were not in the path of the most recent storm, nor are we currently in the path of the one that's heading up to the US. So anyway, if there's anybody who is, we're just thinking about everybody who both had property that was damaged and who've been displaced, and of course, folks who are currently running, including James. I know you guys. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, thinking about everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So y'all, today, thank you for being with us. If you were not a part of the awesome summit that James
It
put
was
on,
so good.
it was so
Yeah,
good
it was
several weeks
excellent.
ago. We were lucky enough to teach a class called Video for Dummies, and we're the dummies. You're not the dummies. It's us. So what we've done over the past, several years was through trial and error, through a lot of blood and guts and figuring things out. We have found a way to make video a part of our marketing plan through emails, through social media, in a really, I wouldn't say, I don't like using the word easy, but it's in a approachable way. It's in a way that we can do without all the fancy equipment. So
Yeah.
we want to share that with you today and share kind of our best practices and some tactical tips.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So I think what we try to do is to take the overwhelm out of an approach to video. I don't know about you guys, but when we first started talking about video, I kept saying it, but I don't want to be in a video. I don't know how to film a video. We don't have the right equipment. And one of the things that we talk about a lot is, blood and guts is definitely a part of any business. Blood and guts is a part of real estate. And where we want to head is called ease and elegance. I know, ease and elegance. So we are trying to move from blood and guts to ease and elegance. And what we can tell you guys is that I wouldn't say that we're like totally in ease and elegance, but it's gotten a lot easier and a lot more elegant. And so we want to save you guys some time in the trenches with the blood and guts. So we want this to be super tactical. We can certainly answer any questions. We'll come back at the end and answer questions. And just so y'all know, what we're going to do is we're going to make this impactful. We're going to give you some things you can implement immediately. And then Meg and I are going to be teaching a class that is a longer class that is coming up. It's 2 sessions. It is, are they both in November?
October 30th and November 6th in partnership with James.
Yeah, in partnership with James. And they'll both be recorded. So if you want to sign up, but you can't attend one of them, don't worry. Those classes are going to be about an hour and a half each of content with 30 minutes of question and answer at the end. So we're going to give you the templates for everything. We're going to give you all the information about the different ways that we present a listing, just a lot of the nitty gritty we're going to get into, but we're going to try and give you a lot of that right now too. We're just limited on time.
Yes. And one thing, when we taught this in the summit with James is people were like, oh my gosh, it's so much information. We're about to throw a lot at you.
Yeah.
It's going to feel like drinking from a fire hose, but we'd rather give you too much than too little. And if you are, we're a part of a team. We're Mary Cheatham King Real Estate, located in Morehead City, as you said. And this is something that we do as a team, but it's also something that Mary Cheatham and that a lot of people do as solo agents. So our advice for anyone taking this, we'll say this again at the end, is write things down that are little nuggets to you or little ideas that you'd like to implement. You don't have to do all of the things that we're talking about. It can get really overwhelming. This took years for us to build, and we don't do all of this perfectly. We're just sharing some ideas that maybe some will stick with you and resonate, and you can implement them in your business.
Yeah, totally. And I see the question in the chat. Yes, we will. There's at the end, we'll give you the link to sign up for the class if you want to. And one thing that's cool is that class will be over 2 sessions, so that in the second session you can say, hey, here's what I've tried. Here are the questions I have. But it's really a step-by-step implementation process. So we're going to cover it kind of at surface level today so that you guys can go ahead and grab some things and start doing them now.
Exactly. So y'all, you'll hear us refer a lot to emails throughout this class. That's what our class that we're teaching with James later on is about. But we're going to talk about implementing video into emails and into your social media. They can be recycled into both. So when we started really honing in on email marketing as the backbone of our marketing strategy, we found it really difficult to get consistent with sending our emails. So we send one every Thursday. At this point, we send one every Thursday at 6 p.m. to our database of over 20,000 people. We went from sending them maybe once a quarter to perhaps once a month sometimes, to like once a month, to biweekly, to now weekly. So we really built up to this consistency using something called the bucket system.
Yeah. Yep. And so just so you guys know, so when you think about, I mean, we believe so strongly in sending consistent emails to your database. And one of the reasons that we do that is because what we know is that you need to stay in communication with everybody that you've got in your database, right? And the way to do that, that is economical,
Yes.
that is impactful, that is something that can be forwarded, something that's got legs, a way that you can recreate content that you're reuse content that you're already using on social media. Email gives you all of that. And it also gives you this opportunity to be like a buffet of information, right? So what you want to think about is everybody in your database, there's a very small percentage of them that are currently transacting business. So you want to make sure that your emails always include information for folks who are not currently buying or selling. And that is where the bucket system comes in. It's kind of got something for everybody. So when you're thinking about, we'll help you build out your bucket system, in the longer class. But what we can tell you guys is we have 4 buckets that we use. We think these are pretty universal, and you may want to tweak them, and we can dive in and really look at that with you. But these are our 4 buckets.
Exactly. So I want you guys to think of the bucket system as categories from which you pull your content from. So say you're putting an email together and you're like, what do I include in this email? I have a listing. That's it. So this is a way for us to differentiate our content within emails, on social media, and we always post or include content from these 4 buckets. The first one is listings. The second one is market update. The third one is something about you if you're a solo agent, or your team if you're on a team. And then the last one is about the community that you serve. So we're going to show you guys examples of all of these in video format.
Yep.
But we want to show a little example of what it looks like in an email form.
Yep. And one question that we get all the time is, do you put all 4 buckets in every email? And the answer is yes.
So this is a very easy, simple wireframe of what an email would look like. So we're going to show it. Actually, let me start this back, because that's a quick little scroll.
Now, what's a quick little scroll?
Okay.
This is how we put it together.
Exactly.
So every week when we go in and set up our email, or if you're doing it every quarter or every month or whatever, we have these templates that we can share in our longer class. But this will walk you through kind of how we set them up and how we know what types of content that we need.
Exactly. So that was a very brief wireframe. And this is what this is what it looks like IRL. So
that means in real life, y'all.
Thank you. So you'll see up here, we've got our listings bucket. We got a community bucket here, celebrating our teachers. A team content, that's the daughter of one of our team members. We've got a market update here. We go into some extra listings. And then at the end, we have our secret sauce. I bet you guys could guess what it is. So this is an example of an email we sent a few weeks ago. It's jam-packed full of content. We like to think of them as little mini magazines, and we incorporate video. You saw a few icons and a few little play buttons in there. We incorporate video into every single email we send, because we feel as though it's, one of the only ways you can really get your authentic story across in a concise way that, will loop people in.
And the connection and the stickiness that video provides are just unsurpassed. And so one of the things that you want to think about too is that, we don't have fancy video equipment. We don't have a studio. We don't have any of that stuff. We just use iPhones. So we just film it on our phones, and that's how we do it. So we'll get more in depth about exactly what we do here. But yeah, let's start with showing you guys.
Yes, exactly. But first, we want to talk about pottery for a second.
I do want to talk about pottery. Yo, if anybody can help me identify where this story came from, I would really appreciate it. I always attribute it to the one thing, but let me tell you something. I don't think it's in the one thing.
I don't think so. I don't remember.
Okay, so if anybody knows, please post it in the comments. But the story goes like this. It's the story about a pottery class. And the teacher who was teaching the class divided the students into 2 groups. And to the first group, he said, I want y'all to spend the day making the most perfect pot ever, right? I just want it to be flawless and fabulous. And to the second group, he said, I want you to make as many pots as you can. I don't care what they look like, just make as many as you possibly can. And so at the end of the day, who can guess which group had the most perfect pot? Anybody? Okay. Well,
The one
MREA.
that he said he doesn't care what they look like.
Yeah.
yes. Okay, great. I love this. It was MREA.
Yes.
Thank you guys. Praise. Okay, so we weren't totally off the reservation. So yes, the ones where it said just make as many as you can. And so you guys, it's the same thing with video. It's really the same thing with anything, but it's the same thing with video, which is you have to just start, right? And people are not, the great thing about video these days is people aren't expecting perfection. And frankly, when we hire a videographer to come in and do a video for us and it's beautiful and it's set to music and the timing is right, it actually gets way less engagement than something that is raw and kind of unfiltered and maybe has some mistakes in it.
Exactly.
People really, they crave that authenticity. They want to understand who you are. They want to understand who your team is or who you are, because people want to work with people that they know, like, and trust, right? And so I think a lot about that pottery story, because it just reminds us that the way to get to mastery is just to start.
I know a lot of people know the name Ken Pozek because he's fantastic. He's awesome. So good at what he does within this industry and
Yep.
even outside of the industry. And I think we were in a class and he was talking about the concept of being process minded versus outcome minded, exactly what this pottery story is. And I think it was him that said when he first started posting on YouTube, you know, he started posting and then wasn't getting the likes and the engagement that he was looking for, you know? And I think someone told him, they were like, okay, post 100 videos with no expectation of a single like or comment on your video. And by his 100th video, naturally what happened was he got so good at creating them and posting them consistently that then the engagement followed after that. So I love that story. I think it really ties into the pottery parable from the MREA.
It does for the MREA. Thank you to whoever that was. That's
Exactly.
exactly right. That's right.
So y'all, we're going to dive into some examples. You guys can completely rip off and duplicate these ideas if you would like.
Yes.
And before we do that, just being really clear on how simple we make this. All the videos that you're going to see were shot on our iPhone, or we're using photos. You'll see several different examples. We don't have a fancy lighting setup. We don't use a fancy microphone. We use we have a little microphone from Amazon down here, but that's about as fancy as we get. So we just, done is better than perfect in that way.
I know. I think
Ira said that.
Ira. Thank you, Ira.
Exactly.
And one thing that's important too that I want to say to you guys is some of these, I want you to know I'm extremely untechy. And I realize that I'm so lucky because I work with Meg, who is techie. But what I want you to know is this, that some of these, like, it takes pictures and it smushes them together to make the video. And we get questions about who does that. And like, you know, Meg, I mean, this crowd can do that. But let me tell you who else could do that. Any teenager. Do you know a teenager? Because they can do it. And you could pay them like $10 to put a video together for you if you have all the pieces that you want to use.
You're exactly
So,
right.
I mean, so, you know, I think that as far as figuring that piece out, do not let that be a concern. We can absolutely, you know, get that done. Don't let that be the thing that stops you from moving forward.
Exactly. All right, so let's get started. Y'all, I lost my our Canva presentation for a second, but we found it. We're good. We're going to reshare that screen.
It's because I have 974 tabs open at all times.
My face is hot. Okay, let's get into it. So our first bucket is listings. So, of course, your priority as an agent is to serve your sellers and promote their listings, get them sold, bring in new leads and stuff like that through social media or through your emails. So, here is one example of how we present a listing via video.
Hey guys, come with me to check out my 4 favorite features at the gorgeous new construction home at 504 Ocean Ridge. Number 1, the reverse floor plan offers an open living, dining, and kitchen space on the top floor with incredible views of the ocean. Number 2, the gourmet kitchen with beautiful finishes, including quartz counters, satin bronze fixtures, under and upper cabinet lighting, and a hidden butler's pantry for extra storage. Number 3 is the views. Situated on Ocean Ridge, 504 offers ocean views from the living area and 2 primary bedrooms, not to mention the porches. And number 4 are the luxury finishes. This new construction home has gorgeous finishes throughout, and we love everything from the light fixtures and tongue and groove ceilings to the tile showers and mirrors. We know you'll love this home just as much as we do.
Okay, so several things we want to point out about
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
The first thing is we have found that starting with a human element to any video is going to automatically hook people in.
You have to see the whites of your eyes, you guys.
That's
So
what
the
Ken Kozak
opener of
is
the
up.
video should be so people can see the whites of the person's eyes who's introducing it. So if we just launched into the voiceover section, it would not get nearly the engagement that it does if it starts with a human, because you're like, what's this person saying, right? I mean, we're all guilty of that when you're scrolling.
And think about it in an email context. So you guys saw in our example that we had the little fake phone where you could click play. Think about, having a property there, like a living room versus Mary Cheatham. People are more
person's
likely
face.
to click on a person's face. Sounds so weird.
Right.
A person's video versus a property video. We found that in our tracking.
That's right.
Another thing to note is that at the beginning of the video, I'm not gonna play it again, but just to show you guys. Okay, sorry for the thumbnail, MC.
Great.
This is actually filmed in our office. So we did not have to visit this property. The photos that are in here, they're just
the
photos.
video is, yep.
Yeah, they're just photos that are panning across from our listing shoot that we recycled.
Yes.
And Mary Cheatham is voicing it over on her phone.
That's right. So this is a virtually staged new construction home. These are photos. Nobody had to go there. It just looks like we did. And then for the voiceover, I see that for the voiceover, I actually just write a script and just record it into my phone. And then again, anybody who has got some techiness, including teenagers, can put it together. What's the app called?
That's the Splice app. You could do it directly in Instagram. There's a lot of different options there, but the youngins know how to do it.
Yeah.
Not me included.
Yeah, and if this is something that a lot of people really want to understand more about, maybe what we could do is do a tutorial on
Yes.
exactly how to do this in our longer class. If
I love
that's
that.
something, we'd love that feedback if this is something that y'all want to see. So that everybody could do it themselves, because it's not rocket science.
No. Daniel just said CapCut is the best. I love CapCut as well. That's a good one. And y'all, someone asked about, I know this is a small question, but someone asked about how you get the fake phone in there. Also in our longer form class, probably one of the biggest takeaways is that we're going to provide you with drag and drop templates that you can use in Canva. We design in Canva, then we upload them to whatever mail service that you use. And we'll show you how to do the fake phone. You can just drag and drop right in there. So y'all, this was the listings example.
Yes.
We're going to
Great.
go on to the market update example.
And what I want to point out, guys, real quick too, is if you don't have any listings, you can get permission to use someone else's listing. You can visit someone else's listing and provide a tour, right? You just have to have the right permissions. So don't feel like if you don't happen to have a listing at that moment, you can't do it.
Yeah. But y'all, I think that's a great idea. In our longer class, we'll do a tutorial and we'll
On
have
editing.
Yeah,
Great.
exactly. Great.
Done.
Okay. Oh, wait, we have another listing
Yes, and this
example.
is the cute one.
This one's so cute. So y'all, we do something called lifestyle shoots. If we have a listing that is really great, has a really unique element, we live here on the coast, so a lot of them might have a pool or might have a water view. We like to incorporate the human element, a local business, and the listing in one fell swoop.
Yes, people love a story, you guys. So you're inviting them into a story. Like, look at this. This is such a story. This is our colleague Andy's son in his life jacket on the dock.
So we're going to play this just to show you guys. This is a listing bucket video, but it doesn't have to be all about real estate. We'll show you. Oh, there's no audio. Sorry. It didn't pull through on my end.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So you'll see these are items from a local tackle shop. They're on the dock of the property. There's the property. In the caption, of course, it lays out what address it is, all the details about the house. But it's helping people visualize what life could be like even on a rainy day, just right in their backyard.
So it's lifestyle, and it also allows us to collaborate with that local small business, right? And so that way it gets more people commenting and engaging with the social media post. And remember, guys, this is actually really important. I want to take a minute to point this out. These videos, we film them. They are first posted to social media. And then when they're put in our email, when someone clicks on it, it takes them to that social media page.
Yep.
So you're not posting them a lot of different places. You're just pulling through in the email to your social media. You know how people say, like, when you have someone on your website, you don't want them to leave. Well, it's totally fine if they're in your email, and if when they leave, they end up on your social media page, total win, right? So not a big deal. They're not leaving. It can click back to the email and they're still in your world.
Exactly. I love that. And two people just asked about, do the videos play inside the email? Exactly what you were saying. They link to the social media where it was posted, or to YouTube or our blog, to one of our other entities, so that they can easily come back.
But
to
it's
the email.
seamless. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great.
Okay. Next is our market update. And I feel like you feel very strongly about
I
market
really
update.
do, you guys. I have a lot of comments about market updates. So market updates, this is basically our lowest production and also most important to me.
I agree.
I think it's our most important bucket, both on social media and in the emails, because let's talk about this. You know, Gary Keller says that you are supposed to be the economist of choice to your clients and your local market. And this gives you the opportunity to do just that. So what I think that people make a mistake and they put on like a suit and they get their flip chart out and they go over every stat that's happening in the market at that time. And people don't follow it. I don't follow it. And I do this for a living, right? So what I want to know is, can you just pick one stat or tell one story and pull the thread through and tell me why it matters to a buyer and why it matters to a seller? And then you're winning. So our market update videos, we started this a while ago, where I filmed them in my car. So we pretend like that I've been like driving carpool at an appointment and I've just pulled over. But really, sometimes I've had a glass of wine and I just walk out to the car and film the video,
It's
right?
so
and
true.
It's under 60 seconds. We decide in advance what's the stat I'm going to focus on, or what's the story that I'm going to tell. And then those are just, we just pop them on social media. And then again, what we do is put them in the email, and folks can click on it and go to that social media page to see the full story.
Exactly. We're going to show you an example of a recent market update that video.
Yes. And after that, we're going to talk about statistical versus anecdotal and what the difference is.
Hey, everybody. It's Mary Cheatham, and I wanted to answer a question that we get a lot, which is, are we in a buyer's market or a seller's market, and how do we know? The answer relates to months of inventory. So when the market carries from 0 to 5 months of inventory, it means that you're in a seller's market. 6 months of inventory is what you would consider a balanced market, and 7 months of inventory plus is a buyer's market. Currently, Carteret County has about 4 months of inventory, which is up from the extremely limited, less than 1 month of inventory conditions that we had right after COVID. So what does this mean? Well, what it means is more inventory is more options for buyers to choose from. So that's a great thing if you're a buyer in our market. And if you're a seller, we're still in a seller's market. So it's a wonderful time to reach out to your broker and talk about your ideal sale. Hope this is helpful. Thanks so much.
Okay. So that one was obviously a statistical market update.
Yes.
We only focused on months of inventory, days on market, that sort of thing. And we told why it matters. And then what I want to say is that the other option is to do an anecdotal market update. So that would be if I hopped on and said, like, oh my gosh, you guys, we just put this property at 316 Club Colony on the market. We listed it for 3.5. The market's been really slow. We were nervous about that, but we ended up with 2 offers. And so it's actually under contract, incredible price. What does this mean for you? What it means for you, and then pull that thread through. So it can be a story, and people love that too. But if you're going to go the stat direction, which you have to do every so often, I think it's critical that you make it super relatable and that you focus only on one stat at a time.
Exactly. Allison also just asked, because you guys can see the was live in the bottom corner. This was something we posted on Facebook. We actually batch these and pre-record them, and we upload them through a software called StreamYard. So it appears as a live
Now, when
video.
you say software, do you mean an app?
It's a website.
Okay.
That's
It
it.
just,
You
a
pay a
software,
monthly.
it makes it sound really complicated, but it's not, right?
No, not
Okay.
at all. Not at all.
Okay,
I
okay.
think you could do it.
So, okay, great. Okay, great. That's exactly right. That means it's really easy.
Yes. And then y'all, again, we post this to Facebook first. We'll post it on Instagram, of course, and then we link it in our emails back to our Facebook page. Yay. So that's market update. We feel very
So
passionately
we've
about
now
that.
done 2 buckets. We've done the listing bucket and the market update bucket. And again, in our longer class, we'll dive into we'll show you lots of examples of market updates. We'll show you how we pull the stats. We'll get into all that stuff, but just running through this. StreamYard, that's exactly right.
Yes. Thank you, Richard. All right, y'all. Next one, it can be a little bit of a tricky bucket, because I feel like as brokers, our priority, of course, is real estate and the community we live in, but people work with who they know, like, and trust. And you have to tell your story of who you are personally or who your team is in order for them to know, like, and trust you.
Yes. And we have an activity that we can take you guys through in the longer class that talks about how to create a filter. What's the story that you want to tell? How do you identify what that is? And then how to make sure that anything that you post in this personal or team bucket is on brand and is telling the story that you mean to tell. Because let's be honest, a lot of times we're inadvertently telling a story that we do not intend to tell. So this is a great example of that. Meg makes a great point. Having these things on stories is awesome. If you have it on stories, it's not as conducive to also putting it in the email.
Right.
But we do make sure that we're always presenting ourselves to our clients, to our database in the email so that they feel like they can get to know us a little bit better every week.
Yes. So y'all, this is one example of how our team bucket or our personal bucket is incorporated in social media and also in our emails. Very quick.
In the house, in your on the floor, stick ball, like one's ever been here for.
Okay, so it's not a look at us type of thing. I
Right.
think a lot of people think like, well, I don't want to come off as, braggadocious or like, look at me, because
Yep.
of course it's about the clients you serve. You're their guide. They're the hero here.
They are the hero.
Yes, and that's why the team bucket can be, or the personal bucket can be a little tricky. But
talked to the broker about those since those were made.
Oh, somebody's not muted.
Oh.
Sorry, y'all.
unless they were asking a question,
Oh,
maybe. Okay,
Well,
maybe not. Okay. Put it in the chat. We'll answer it. So yes, so this bucket, we will go through kind of the filter system here, but Instagram stories and Facebook stories, the little things that go away in 24 hours are a great way to tell the story of who you are and your team as well.
great. And so Masha, okay, you got it. Yeah. So what that personal or team bucket little video was about. I don't know if you saw the very beginning. It was a cute little take that said, here, let's show the very beginning of it again. We can pause on the very beginning slide. But it just said what people say, you just buy and sell houses. And then what it launches into is how we're a part of our clients' stories, right? And so we do all kinds of stuff. We'll say, here's some photos and some information from our recent team meeting. We'll show that. We do lots of fun events as a team. Like last week, we did a kind of a video recap of a recent event that we had where we did wine and design, and we had an offsite where we were doing goal setting for next year. So we posted a video about that. So it's just sharing information.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
that last video didn't play right. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
great.
Thanks. Thanks, Beth.
Dang, I wish
Okay.
it would. Okay. The next one, though, the community bucket. So we've done listings, we've done market update, we've done our team/personal, and our last bucket is community. And aside from the real estate side, I think the community bucket is the secret to success.
And here's the reason that it's a secret to success is because as we established in the beginning, the vast, vast majority of people who are receiving your weekly emails, people who are consuming your content on social media are not currently transacting. So how are you providing them with value? How are you providing them with information that keeps them engaged and wanting to consume your content? It's by making sure that what you are doing is providing them with information, being their guide to the tie that binds you all, which is your community.
Exactly. And something with videos about community is oftentimes, all of the time, actually, you're telling the story about someone else, whether it's a fellow business, whether it's a really cool person in your community, whether it's, someone making waves. I think that with video, what happened with us is we wouldn't go out and get those stories because we felt like we didn't have the video experience or the fancy equipment in order to do that. And then I think it was Jordan Freed is our team's coach, who's amazing. And he said something along the lines of, don't let the fact that, it's not going to be perfect in your eyes get in the way of you telling someone else's story. So that's something I always think about with this community bucket is it's such a great opportunity to be a platform for other businesses to grow and to tell their story and provide value to your clients at the same time.
And we're going to get, again, we have a whole lot of information about how to use the community bucket to build relationships with other small businesses, to create absolute raving fans all around your community of other small business owners, of folks who work in other small businesses, because you're going out and offering to tell their story and you're wanting to promote them. And what are you asking for in return? Nothing,
Exactly.
right? But it comes back to you tenfold, not to mention that you feel great about helping them, but from a business standpoint, it's just, there's nothing like it.
Exactly. So we're going to show you guys two examples. The first one is a business feature. We actually sent one of our team members out into the community to capture this content. She did a great job. And this is one example. The second one's a little different, so we'll explain that when we get there. Easy peasy.
Yep. And so guys, in the comments, of course, it might say, you know, oh my gosh, we love soul bowls. It's the best, you know, we kind of give some information on it. And then when that's embedded in our email, you know, it would have information around it and it would say, this week in our community corner, we're so thrilled to announce a new small business that's open locally. It's called Soul Bowls. Our team loves it. And then we might say Meg's favorite is the Sunshine Granola Bowl. MC's favorite is the something something latte. We hope you'll check it out and let us know what you think. You know, click play for the video.
Yes. Y'all, sorry, the sound wasn't working. It was just music playing in the background. Did the market update video work? Could you guys hear that one? Okay, cool. It was just music playing in the background. Sorry about that. The second video that also fits in the community bucket is something that we actually have a playbook for. We've never taught a class on it, but I feel like we could talk about it for months. But it is called Coffee with MC. It's something that Mary Cheatham and I started, you know, 4.5 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
Where we sit on Zoom and interview local folks, business owners, people who are really impacting our community for 10 minutes every Friday morning at 8 a.m.
That's exactly right. So we used to actually hop on Facebook Live and have these people join us again at 8 a.m. on Fridays. We've gotten a lot smarter. Again, blood and guts to ease and elegance. And now we pre-record these, we batch them. And what's gotten fascinating is people will reach out to us and say, hey, I'm having this event. Could I please be on Coffee with MC? Or, hey, I'm opening this business. Or, you know, my kid is doing this incredible project. Or, you know, there's all kinds of things. And people are coming to us and asking if they can please be on, which is just mind-blowing.
Yes.
And really cool.
Agree.
So I'm concerned that the audio is not going to work. Let's try it, you guys. And then we all type in the comment box if you can't hear it.
Because this one would need audio. Okay,
Yes.
let us know.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
It worked?
What better to talk about this morning than ice cream?
We're commemorating this Coffee with MC as the first time a baby has joined us.
Have you ever in your whole life, look how cute she is.
You know,
We've got to get a song.
I know what people think our theme song should be.
Like maybe something by Taylor Swift.
Celebration by
Who in the game? Billie Eilish. Da, 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 da.
Oh, and it's Super Bowl weekend.
I'm sure she would say,
Yeah.
let's do this.
Are you trying the opposite? The way that Annie had it was the best. Okay.
You know, we're gonna give one kid a scholarship with the money we raised, and so much money was coming in. They're like, let's just bless as many kids and families as we can.
I opened my library up, wanting kids to come in. Then the problem is people are busy. And so the only way that I could think to get books in their hands is to go to them.
It is a joy and an honor to work with folks to help them realize such an important dream.
Many hands make light work.
Mhm.
They're saving my life and making it easy because they do what they say they're gonna do. They work hard at it.
This is these families, just people in the community are coming forward to help with this amazing cause.
People here, business
Baby
owners and
podcast, I love it.
customers alike have just been so incredibly welcoming.
To enjoy this amazing community or
The friends that I'm making here and the different connections that I'm making in the community. I'm really starting to feel at home here.
It gives me goosebumps at how small, but how mighty this whole entire town is. How we all support each other. I just love it. I love it. Makes you feel good for the whole day.
Support I have from other locals
and other
business owners.
We've just had a lot of people love and support us through this whole journey.
Everybody comes down, kids and family. They're just engaged and they're committed.
Everybody's just so supportive.
And without y'all support, we wouldn't be able to do it.
It's like everyone has a warm embrace.
That's what small
I
community
love
is all
that.
about.
Our community does a phenomenal job supporting us. That's what we want.
And we're happy to be a part of it.
Thank you for all you guys are doing.
We appreciate you.
I cannot wait to get to Carteret County.
I feel like in the first couple weeks of this, that we've already created a lot of cool relationships and conversations that we've had with people that I've never met before that are right here in this community. Learning their stories has been so much fun and very rewarding at the end of the day when we're creating these new relationships with people that we didn't know before.
I will say that what is saving my life today is friends, old and new, and connections with people, and just feeling a part of a community and knowing folks who will just jump in and do anything you need to. Y'all have a great weekend. Happy Friday, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye. Bye.
Oh, it always makes me tear up watching these little compilations.
know,
So y'all, this was obviously we don't do this video every week. It's just one guest. It's 10 minutes
Of
on
content.
Zoom, 10 minutes of content. And something, again, I really want to point out here is you saw all the audio wasn't the best. Some of the connections weren't great. But the moment we stopped, caring
Worrying
about
about
the
it.
perfection and
That's
just
right.
got it done, it has just snowballed into something that's been so fun for us on the back end and
Yeah.
really great for our brand awareness with our business. And also, it's creating a platform for these other folks in our community.
And again, it's brand awareness, but you saw how many people, I mean, I don't know how many guests we've had, 52 times 4. Those people feel supported by us and they feel like that we care about them because we do, and we're helping to tell these stories that are important to them. So think what that does for your business. It's like rocket fuel, right? To be able to show how much you care about other people and to be able to help tell their stories. It just, again, it's so wonderful in so many ways.
Absolutely. And the way that we utilize these Coffee with MC videos in our emails is if we need a community bucket for that week, we will promote it in our emails and say, look out for this guest tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Of course, we post it on Facebook live at 8 a.m. through StreamYard. We also post it to our YouTube page afterwards for that Google juice. And we'll post a little snippet of either a funny or a really impactful part on our Instagram page later in the day. So that we have a little playbook with how we recycle that content. We have scripts for how we ask these businesses. We
do that's yeah.
Yes.
That was blood and guts, you guys. We finally figured out, here's how you ask them. Here's what you send them in advance of exactly what they need to do and how, anyway, there's a playbook. There's a playbook for how to do this. And I just can't. Yeah. And so, Andrea has the question, when do you find time to do all this? This takes 2 hours a month.
Yeah.
This takes 2 hours a month.
The filming portion.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we figure the guests out and then we just batch them again. So we'll film all of them. We'll do 30-minute time slots. So we'll take 2 hours, we'll film it. And then there's no editing because we don't edit them.
Nope.
So yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. The
Great.
caption writing, I mean, however long that takes you, the more we've done this, the more we've repeated it every Friday, done the process, the faster we've gotten at it. And I feel like that's the case with any video, with any email, any social media, anything we've done in the marketing realm here since we opened in 2016. It started out so tedious and slow in the blood and guts. And then as we practiced it and really honed in on what's important to us and our pillars that we really wanted to focus on, we got faster and faster at the things that really mattered.
There you go. There you go. Oh God.
Oh, we're already at
Here
the
we
end.
are. Okay.
Cool. I don't
Okay.
wanna be
We're
over
going
yet.
to, oh my God, I love this question. If you do them all together, do you change clothes?
Yes.
Charlene, I love you. We sure do. We sure do. We bring we'll put on like a scarf and then we'll take that off and then we'll put on have a t-shirt underneath.
We'll switch shirts sometimes.
Yeah, it's such a good question. We do.
Yeah. Great question. So y'all, we'll answer questions in just a second. We'll flip back through the chat if you guys want to start posting questions in there. In the meantime, this is a QR code to our registration page for our class that we're teaching, Build a Marketing Machine, in partnership with James, happening on October 30th and November 6th. If you scroll down on this page, either go to mckmarketing.com/register or scan the QR code, you can read, we have a ton of really incredible reviews from people who have taken our course in the past. We did teach this a little over a year ago with James, but if you did take that class before, we do have updated templates. We have our ROI tracker, we have our icon library, just a lot of new things that we're going to incorporate and update the original class on. And if you didn't take the class before, we're going to go through everything again, step by step, mindset, tactical how-tos. We're going to add the video editing tutorials and stuff like that. So it'll be a little bit, I'd call it building a marketing machine 2.0.
Yeah, I think that's great. And so I'm making a note right now. So we know that we want to do a section on video editing, and then we can also make sure that we pull the scripts together for a coffee with MC like thing. So we can share that also.
Absolutely. She is taking notes.
I really am.
Okay. So y'all, I'm going to, Vicky just put the link in the chat. I'm going to take us off of stop share. If you want to grab that link or QR code, and we're going to hop in the chat and answer some questions if that works for you guys. Okay. The changing clothes is just so good.
I know.
Okay.
Vicky, Vicky, are you there?
Hi,
Oh yeah.
Vicky.
Vicky, do you see in the chat, are there any questions that you've seen that have come up more often than not? Is there anything? I'm sorry, I'm putting you on the spot.
One thing I think that people, a couple questions have come up with about the class. If you could just give a little bit of information about the upcoming class, how long they need to kind of expect, you know, if it's an hour, if it's, you know, 1 hour a week.
Yes. So there are 2 classes. They will be recorded, so don't worry if you have to miss one, but we actually blocked 2 hours for the class. Our plan is to do 90 minutes of content for each one, and then have 30 minutes of Q&A to talk about implementation. What are you guys doing? What's working and what's not? What do you want us to make sure you cover? And so I think that yeah, that's the general plan. It's 2 weeks in a row.
Yep. Absolutely.
One other question that came up also is, do you have a library where you store this information, or all the videos that you take, or, you know, like what do you do with the videos?
For people to refer back to and watch.
Yes.
Yes. So we always make sure people know that, of course, they can watch it live, but we keep them in our videos section of our Facebook page, and then also on our YouTube page. So we don't utilize YouTube yet as a marketing tool. We kind of use it as a library for right now. We hope that will change soon because we know the power of YouTube. But right now, the main place that we really keep everything is in our Facebook videos section. If you guys want to go refer to those, if you want some inspo. And one thing with Coffee with MC as well, we have talked about this in some classes in the past, and we've seen some really cool renditions of people doing this in a different way. Recently, I saw someone on Instagram, they would go with their phones into the business and set up a little interview, and they would just do a 2-minute, like really choppy, short interview with the person in the same style, same time every week. And it got the same warm and fuzzy feeling. And you got to, you know, see that authentic side of the business owner and the broker at the same time. And I thought that was a really cool way to do it as well. It doesn't have to be through Zoom. They just went to the business with their phone, set up a little very casual interview and did it that way. I really like that as well.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I know somebody says that the registration link isn't working. Can anybody confirm that they have used the registration link and that it is working?
I have
okay.
it up, but I have the registration up, but I don't see the promo code.
Oh,
yeah.
Great question. So Vicky said she's going to email this recording out along with the registration link and the code for Inspire members. Is that right, Vicky? Did I nail it?
Yes, that is correct. So later today, if you're an Inspire member, be on the lookout in your email, and we'll also post it in the Inspire Facebook page, the promo code. Everyone else who is on this call and listening in right now, you know, then you can use that QR code and the link, and it should be up and ready for you. We've already had some registrants, I know, so it should be working.
Yes.
Great. Okay. And then Diane, I
Diane,
see you raised your hand.
It's October 30th and November 6th.
Yes, ma'am. And those should be they're Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern. 1 to 3 is what we have blocked. Again, they'll be recorded and sent out after as well. Someone asked I took the class previously, didn't figure out how to upload the templates in MailChimp. So we actually have Susie, I can connect with you offline too, because we have a tutorial video that we included in the course that will also include here to show how to take from Canva to MailChimp or your email platform of choice. Does not have to be MailChimp.
Okay, Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, couple questions. I did see, I didn't try to sign up yet, but it had two prices, like 206 and 258. What's the difference?
So one is with the Inspire code, Vicky, correct me if I'm wrong, and the other is if you are not using a promo code.
Yes.
Okay, and then will it fill up? Because just in case I don't sign up, if I'm waiting for that code.
There's no cap at this point to how many we can have in the
Thank
class.
you.
I'm looking at Vicky like, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Right. Yeah. We do what James and Vicky tell us to do. Just kidding. All right. Let's see.
Okay,
I'm looking through some more.
great. Got the link. The secret
Questions?
sauce, Robin, is
Yeah.
a testimonial.
Mhm.
We put one at the bottom of every email that we send. That's our secret sauce, is a testimonial.
But we have a strategy with how we do our testimonials.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Amazing. Do you do the Facebook Live on your personal or your business page? Terry, great question.
Oh, Terry, this is a really good. I have to tell you, I mean, I know everybody has a different opinion on this. So, I mean, I do have a personal Facebook page, but I don't go on it. So, we just use our business page.
Mhm.
I think that if you have got a huge following on your personal page, then great. And that's what you also use as business. But what I would say to you is if you have both, this is a business page thing.
Yes.
For sure.
The amount of reach that these videos get because the business shares it, the person shares it, their mom shares it, their in-laws share it. We would rather have our Mary Cheatham King Real Estate Facebook page out there and getting that reach versus, of course, her name is on the business. So that would still be helpful. But we think with the reach that these videos get, that having our business out there is more effective. Portia said, join another class, see how we can put the video. Yes, so we'll show you guys in the class, just show you how to put videos, all the templates, drag and drop, how to make them link and everything like that. Yes.
What else? Anybody have anything else that's Diane?
So when you see the strategies, that would be also how you did the split screen with the interview and you folks.
Yes,
That's just Zoom.
So if
That's
we
just Zoom, but you're not at the same, you're Zoom at the same time. So you're live. So it really is live.
No, so we record the Zoom just like today, how Vicky recorded this whole Zoom. We just have two people in the interview and when you record it, it just pops up side by side.
Okay, let me rephrase that. You really don't edit. So the part of the secret is in how you send out script for them that we're going to be talking about these questions. And do you all just kind of review it before you go on Zoom?
We send them the questions beforehand, like a little very general overview. They'll prep it. We don't do any prep with them before. We just make it like we're sipping our coffee, meeting them for the first time, or just having a very casual conversation. And not one person has been opposed to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's surprising because I would think the same thing.
And
too.
actually, when we hop on, we say, please don't say too much because
we want to learn it on.
There are a couple of things that we look them in the eyeballs and ask, but all in all, we get to film it and we roll right through them.
Yes.
I think what's astounding is, first of all, it does exactly what you want. It's very authentic. It's engaging. And you don't have anyone prattling on too much unless you just cut them out, because that would be my fear. We've done some videos for testimonials and it's like, oh my God.
That's Diane,
I love the love, but it's too much.
Yeah, that's all in the preparation. And also, I'm not afraid to interrupt somebody. So I think that's also important.
Absolutely. Great
Meg
question.
has better manners than I do. But I can handle it.
Yes. Thanks, Diane. Andrea, what's up?
Hi, I love it, love it, love it. I'm so excited. I need an email to send out every week, and I think this is perfect.
Awesome.
But my question, I'm by myself, I'm a single agent. So how much time after your templates and everything, and I'm trained, how much time am I setting aside each week to create the video? I mean, to create the email, I'm sorry.
Email?
So
The
Andrea, do
email
you
itself.
currently send an email with regularity?
I did, and then I stopped.
And how
and
often
it's
were you
really
sending?
cheesy and corny, and I just hated it.
How
Yeah,
often-
stupid
how
stuff
often-
that I would never say to somebody. So
Okay. How often were you sending the email, Andrea?
I was doing a newsletter, which was once a month, and that took a lot of work, but I got it done in probably 2 hours.
And so what I would say to you is I would stick with, if you're an individual agent, I think doing it once a month and having it really well done and full of really smart content is the way to go. And don't forget, you guys, we always think that people have already seen our content. If you posted it on social media that you don't put in the email, no, they haven't, you guys.
Maybe
the
just your
algorithm does not, right,
mom,
maybe your
you
mom.
know?
That's exactly right. Meg's mom has seen it. But so what I think you want to do is to make sure if you do it once a month, think how great that is, because you can choose your best pieces of content from social media over the last 4 weeks and just plug those in.
Yeah.
Right. So you've already gotten the feedback. Did it perform well or did it not? And that way you know what you're pulling for each of your buckets.
And we have, of course, in our longer class, we're going to go through a step-by-step of how much time it actually takes. But Cliff Notes version of that, Andrea, is what we do is we utilize that bucket system. We don't create the content on Monday, but we say, okay, for our community bucket, this is the concept that we're going to put in our email. For the listings bucket, here are the listings that we're going to feature, and so on and so forth. We're not creating it then, we're just getting the concept down. And then the next day we can create 2 of the buckets. The next day, 2 of the buckets. It's all about kind of time blocking in that way. And by the end of it, and after editing, maybe a few hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's the backbone of our marketing. So we devote.
I need to do it I'd like to do it every week. But if that's my goal, is to do it every week. But it seems like you have it set up in such a way that it's just like once you get the template, you can systematically go through it. So if I have to say, okay, I have to set aside 3 hours on a Monday to do it or whatever, or 3 hours on a Sunday to prepare for it, I'll do that and get it out. But I think it's incredible. I just think it's amazing.
Yeah, it's good. And we do. I know one of the questions that I'm seeing asked in the chat is if you're not feeling creative. So for example, we have a list of 12 ways to present a listing. So we have 12 different ideas for how to take it, and it works for each one, works for any listing. So yes, so what we do is we just are constantly making lists of things so that when it's time to put the email together, we can pull out our notes and say, all right, here's the template we follow. Now we're on the listings bucket. Here are the 12 options. Which one do we choose? So it's like a choose your own adventure book, right? I mean,
Yes.
all the information's there. You just plug it in.
Yeah. Awesome. Great question. Deb, hi.
Hi, ladies. Thank you. This is amazing. So you know how we overthink things, and I'm thinking, so
Yes.
what do I have to have in place in order to get the most out of this class? Because you know how you take a class and then you come back and you're like, I don't have everything in place, so I can't really do it, and maybe I'm wasting my money. So any thoughts on what should we sort of have in place
Sure. And
before
Yeah,
we
I mean,
take the
so
class?
So Deb,
Great
here's what I would say. What I would say is when I attend any class, and I attend a lot of them, I feel like if I walk out with 3 nuggets and 3 things I'm going to execute on, then I'm absolutely winning. And if I take good notes or have the recording, then I know once I nail those 3, I can go back and work on the other 3, right? So I can create an outline. You're not going to eat the whole elephant in one bite, right? So to me, what I would say is if you're an individual agent, the place where I would focus is just the concepts of making sure that you're creating a buffet for people who are consuming your content. So you've got to have that community piece that's so easy to implement. Grabbing some of the listing ideas that we have, again, really easy to implement. And then I would say the market update thing, you guys. I think that's the thing that we fall down on because it seems hard, but there is nothing that makes you seem more like someone's trusted advisor than when you are displaying that you know what's up, right? Whether that's from just a story about something that happened or whether you're breaking down a stat for them. And it's not rocket science, it's things that you know. But I think that if you could grab onto those 3 things, you don't need anything else to implement those and start doing it immediately.
And then I love that. I really love that because, you know, a lot of us have content already in our phones that we can use. It's just like, how do we take that content and what platforms should we, you know, use? Like what email platforms and so forth can we use to put that content to work?
And
Aside from social media, which is where I use a lot of the content that you that I can.
Exactly.
And so a lot of that is just pulling through what you're already doing on social media and putting it in an email.
Yep. And then in terms of logistics, things like equipment and software and all of that, we use Canva and we use our mail platform of choice. It could be Command, it could be MailChimp, it could be Constant Contact, anything that you guys are already using. That is literally all you'll need in your phone for this class in terms of logistics. We don't use fancy equipment.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you, guys.
Good. The other thing I want to say, you guys, is if you're an individual agent and one thing that I would think about is what we're talking about here are really high level content, high level concepts. And then, you know, you can dive in, we can help you learn the logistics of how to, but y'all, there are so many resources for the how to. It's the high level stuff that people don't get, right? What's engaging, what's not, what works, what's the time of day, what's the layout, what's the, how do you hook them? What's this? I mean, it's all those things that we feel like we've spent a long time figuring out. I think that the implementation piece, if you've got the what, and then all you need is a who. There are so many who's out there that now specialize in doing exactly this in a way that's super affordable and easy to implement.
Yep.
But it's having your plan that is uniquely yours that I think is the piece that people, you know, when you outsource social media and you outsource your emails without you being at the helm, they seem weird and they're not authentic. And that's because they are weird and not authentic, right? So I think that this is the key piece. And then the implementation piece, I think we make it seem a lot harder than it really is in our minds.
Hi, Lorenzo.
Good afternoon, ladies. You guys are blowing me away. This thing is awesome. You know, the funny thing is I was just on a call with my VA this morning, and we're going over my first newsletter that we're going to put out. And my question to you is, how did you determine the order of your buckets? Because I'm doing buckets, and for me, community is everything. So in my mind, it was something like in New York, I'm in New York City, and we have the breast cancer walk in Central Park, and I'm getting my guys together, and we're going to do a sporting event during it. And every year, you know, my family's been supporting it. So
That's awesome.
that's what I'm trying to determine.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so Lorenzo, for us, the answer is simple. It's trial and error. So we've been doing this for so long, and we track everything on the back end of our emails, right? What gets opened the most? How does the click-through rate change when you reorder things? Time of day. I mean, we've just done trial and error.
And something to think about too, you know, you said that you want to lead with that community content. Odds are a majority, like Mary Cheatham said earlier, a majority of your email list might not be interested in real estate right now. So you're probably going to appeal to a majority of your email list by keeping that community content at the top, hooking them in. They're going to keep scrolling, and then they're going to see that real estate piece as well. So we like to lead with community content when it makes sense. But again, it's trial and error. It's what happened the week before. What did someone open? You know, did we have a high click rate or a high open rate, high click rate, all of that? We just look at all of those factors from the week before and the months before, and then
One quick one is like you guys are, you know, soaked into my brain because the slideshow that you did, you know, I've been having a thought of, I've done a slideshow and I emailed it to past clients that sold their house, but I'm actually thinking about interviewing them of tell me the story of your house as I'm going through the slideshow, every picture.
Make them the
you
hero.
know, the best thought you had of your living room, you know, and those type of things. So that sort of brought that back to me, and it's telling me I need to go for it.
do it.
I love that. You definitely should go for it. That's exactly right.
Thanks, Lorenzo.
Okay, y'all, we've got time for a couple more questions.
Yes. Hey, Antonia.
Hi there. So it sounds like it's gonna be like drinking from a fire hose during, right? So,
but a little slower than what we did today.
So is there a way to review the content after the class? You may have covered that, but I didn't hear it.
Yes, the class will be recorded.
And how do we access that? Is that through Google Link or Kajabi or?
Vicky can answer that for us. Vicky, after the class, how can they go back? Antonia's wondering, how do they go back and get the information? Is it Kajabi?
So for the paid class, it will all be under Mighty Networks. So yes, so they will get all of the information prior to the class, the link to go to, how to join, we'll have all of that information, you know, completely ready for them. So, and then for today's class, it will be on jamesdshaw.com. It'll be on the website, it's on the Facebook page, and we'll be sending out the recording. So, and
we'll also have a ton of downloadables, our templates, our tutorial videos, all of that. And that'll all be in Mighty Networks as well. They keep it they're all so organized.
I know.
Over there.
Oh my gosh. I know. Vicky, James.
And for how long will it be available? Sorry to interrupt.
That's a good question.
Forever. So yeah, if you join the class, then you will have access from here on, you know, from when the class starts here on out.
That's new because our last class, there was, you know, we had a little deadline of that. So we're really excited to have that available forever. Yay.
Amazing.
Hi, Cynthia. I think this is our last hand raised.
Hey, actually, it's Janet Raby-Meyer, Daytona Shores, and Cynthia put this on my calendar, so now I'm Cynthia. Hey,
Great.
Cynthia, it's Janet. Ladies, wonderful, amazing job as usual, and you're so charming and fun. One question, and you may have discussed this, but I was doing a little hurricane prep and I may have missed it. How do you take your video from your phone and put it into your email? I use Command, and how's that work?
Sure. So what we do, and we have a little tutorial as well in our class. What we do is we actually link the whole image and we link it to, so the video isn't embedded in the email. So when they click on it, when they click the little fake play button, it takes them to one of our social media pages or wherever
Gotcha.
that video is housed. So it appears to be in the email, but it doesn't actually play within the email.
Okay, and it's faster than click on the YouTube link and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and also, once you're in YouTube, to me, sometimes I'm on YouTube and I'm like, how did I get here? What are these videos it's showing me? You know what I mean? I mean, so
Yeah.
I like to, then they're in your world. They're on your Facebook page, or they're on your Instagram page. I mean, you're surrounding them with more of your content. So I way prefer that to YouTube personally, but maybe it's just because I'm old. I don't
Oh,
know.
no. I think you're absolutely right, because then you've got control over what happens, what
Yeah.
do they see next?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
important.
exactly right.
Thanks, guys.
Cool. Thanks so much. Stay safe.
Okay, guys.
Y'all, thank you.
This was really fun.
It was. And if you guys have any questions, I'm gonna monitor the video on Facebook as well in the comments. If you guys have any additional questions about the future class, stuff like that, we'd be happy to answer them. But we would love to see you guys at the end of the month. We will be very tactical, a lot of mindset stuff as well. But we just want to share what we've learned through trial and error and get you guys to ease and elegance. Awesome. Thank you guys.
Thank
Vicky,
you so
thank
much,
you.
Thank you, Vicky. Y'all are the best. We really appreciate it.
Bye guys.
We
Good to see
love
you.
you guys. Okay, bye everyone.